How to become a killer copywriter extremely fast. I'm out here chilling in the lobby of my apartment, and yeah, I'm tired. Woke up at 4 a.m. for apparent no reason. But I'm gonna give you some tips on how to become a copywriter, killer copywriter extremely fast. Here are some of my results as a copywriter. Here's what people say usually about my writing. And the other day, I got a comment of somebody asking this. So I just subscribed to your channel. I need your help. I'm an email copywriter, but I find it very difficult to get better at email copywriting, no matter how I get my email copy critiqued. So I'm gonna give you some tips for this person and for whoever finds this helpful on how to actually get better. So not that long ago, I used to have a copy chief position at an agency where I had 3 copywriters under me, and my job was to make their copy better. And I'm gonna share with you some of the things that I wish to work with them, just to make their writing flow better, get better conversions, and overall just become better at copy. So the way you do it extremely fast. I like this concept this definition of learning, and I got this one from one of the people that I follow a lot. His name is Alex Ramosi. He says, learning means same condition, new behavior. So that means that every time you write copy and you're in the same situation, you do something different. And the things I'm gonna take you through right now are the things that will help you find out what is it that you might need to improve and what is it that you might need to get better at. First thing first is get your copy critiqued by an expert for sure. If you don't have those options, here is the other thing you can do. So number one, these are 3 exercises that the 3 exercises I used to take my copywriters through, and these are super simple. So number one, go and put your copy in this website called Hemingway app. And ideally, anytime I feel like I'm getting rusty, I usually write within this website. And what this website does, it tells you the reading level that your audience will need to have for them to understand your message. And your goal is to bring down their reading level to a 3rd grade level or lower. Some of my copy reads at a 0 grade level, which makes 0 sense. And it doesn't mean that your copy is dumb or you're dumbing down the message that you are writing. All it means is that your writing is concise and not redundant, or you're not using complicated terms that only people in university will understand. And what you'll notice too is that Hemingway gives you ideas on how to create, some expert copywriters call this like eye relief. I don't know if you ever been on Facebook or Instagram and then you see a chunky paragraph that looks like the palm of my hand. And this thing is just massively overwhelming to read. And what you need to do is usually use skinny sentences to make the message easy to read. And that's what Hemingway will allow you to do. It will make you write copy that is concise, that is easy to read. And by doing that, you've gotten better than most copywriters out there because they don't know how to do this. They don't even do this. The next thing you do is read the copy out loud. You can do this yourself, or you can have somebody else read it back to you if you have time, or you can use a website called Voice to Speech, I believe it is. And there's just so many AI tools where you can paste your copy and have it read it out loud back to you. And what this will do is you're looking for places where it is hard to understand what you're saying. Maybe transitions are hard to actually understand, or maybe you said a word or a phrase that doesn't quietly fit. And anywhere where you have to pause to actually try to understand the message, it's an area for improvement where you have to go back and redefine it and find better words to say the thing you're trying to say. Because if you're having a hard time going through it as you listen to it, chances are your readers are going to be struggling as well. So what you want to do is massage the copy and just make it flow better, because flow is such an important thing when it comes to writing. Because I don't know if you ever experienced this, but you are reading something and you cannot stop reading it. That is the point where you want to get with your copy. So Hemingway app and reading things out loud will help you do that. Now you might be asking, why does it have to be out loud if I'm reading it with my mind? So there's this weird thing about how we read things with our mind and how it sounds when we speak it out loud. And usually the way it sounds when you speak it out loud is usually the way people perceive it and how they read it in their minds. So as you read it out loud, it will just help you understand like where the writing is clunky and where it is that readers might be getting thrown off. So the other thing I would do is after I write, I would just go for a walk. This is if you have time. I usually don't do this myself because I've done it so many times. I really don't have time to do this. But if you want to, just write in the morning or write in the afternoon, and then you take a pause, go for a walk, maybe you go for a run, go get a workout done, and then you come back and then you read the copy again, and then you will see like it's a completely new reading piece. You will feel like you didn't even write that thing yourself. The other thing I will tell you is, I said 3, but here's 4, feeling generous today. Write first, edit later. So this means that the first draft is not the final draft. You first write something that is rough, and then you come back and edit. And usually, so write it first, go for a walk, come back, edit. And this will make you, I'll tell you this, like you're gonna improve so much just by doing these things that I just mentioned to you right now. All right, now these are some other techniques that you can use, but you will need data to actually improve your copy doing this. And I got this hack from one of my friends. He's a copywriter too, but he used to be a bodybuilder. And one time I was like, dude, what can I do? Because I kind of wanted to, I kind of wanted to build a more proportionate physique, and I felt like my upper body was my lower body wouldn't catch up with my upper body. Like I would just touch the weights and my biceps would grow, but my legs wouldn't. And what he said is just take a picture of yourself and take some pictures of yourself. I'll give you the angles, and then just look at the body parts that are out of proportion, and then you put those body parts in pause, and then you focus on the areas of your body that need work. And for me, of course, there were the legs, there were the shoulders, there were my traps, and I needed to put my biceps on pause. I don't even work out my biceps because they just grow. So I did that, and it freaking worked. And it's the same thing with copywriting. What you can do, of course, data is, feelings lie, people lie, whatever they say, but data doesn't, right? So an example, especially for the person that asked the question on how to get better at writing emails, is use data to actually get better. With emails, there is building elements of a good email, right? So there is the subject line, there is the opener of the email, there is the body of the email, and there is the call to action of the email. So your goal is to use data to actually measure or see where you need to improve. So the first thing you need to look at is, for example, and by the way, when I look away from my screen, I'm looking at the notes on my phone here, because I'm here at the lobby and I didn't bring my computer. I just have my notes on my phone. So open rates. So if your open rates are lower than average, then you need to work on your subject lines. What I would do is go watch the other video I did on Ken copy and sales letters. I think it's like how to get better at copywriting without courses. And there is another one here in this channel about how to get better at copy, where I go about the exercises that you'll actually have to do to get better. So I'll just handwrite a bunch of subject lines. I will go out and collect the best subject lines that made me open an email. I will save them, I will study them, and I will take some of those elements and apply them to my emails in the future. So again, remember the concept of learning is same condition, different behavior, new behavior. So every time you write an email, test something new and keep track of it. What is it that you're testing? And by the way, you will need data on this. You will need to know what is the average open rate of your list. If your open rate is like 30%, for example, and your emails are getting 20%, so what is in the gap? What was it that the other subject lines did that your subject lines are not doing, right? So also like model after winning subject lines. If you have data already, model after that. If it's a Facebook post or a Facebook ad, model after whatever is written that has worked before. That's why anytime you write, you should be asking for winning ads, winning emails, and you kind of have to understand the psychology or the framework that goes into those pieces of copy so you can model after. So all right, now that if you already got the open rates down, right? So if your open rates are better, you became better at subject lines. So now you're getting people to open, but let's say that your open rates are high, but people are still not buying and not clicking. So the next things you can do is, are people even reading your message? Are people even starting to read the message? Are people getting lost within the body of the email? Is the call to action not good enough? Are your call to actions just do people get confused? Do they not even understand why they need to click, right? So those are the things that you should be asking. So if your open rates are great, but your CTR is low, some things you can do is work on your openings of your emails. If you get people to read the first 5 sentences, you usually get them to read the body. And what I would do is I will work on my openers first, right? And in that period of time when I'm working on my openers means how you open up the email, how you intrigue curiosity and get people to want to read. Right after the opening, I'll put my call to action, so my link, and see if people are clicking, just to see if people are actually reading. Now on the body part, that is, you just have to feel it and see if people actually, if it is interesting at all. And I would just apply the previous exercises I shared with you, so Hemingway app and reading it out loud, and making sure that the body is concise and it makes sense and it flows. And then just get some feedback too from people, hey, read this email. Let me know what you think. Does this make you want to buy it? Now, the other thing you want to do is work on your closings. So closings are your call to actions. So the way you close the email. So if your CTRs are still low, you want to work on your closing. And sometimes the easiest way to fix a closing is to add proof. So add credibility. Has this product worked for somebody else before? Or as simple as making the call to action very, very benefit specific, or instead of just saying click here for XYZ, something big, you want to be very specific. So I would say something like click here to get the proven templates to write copy or write emails in 10 minutes a day. And that is super specific. That usually gets the click. So think about what you call titles for YouTube videos, is especially the ones that are benefit driven. So that is what a call to action could look like. Or the other thing you can do, which I've done before, is I legit just put a URL on the call to action, and that does the job. Sometimes they say that I don't have data on this, but when I do it, it works. I'll tell you that. That is the only data I have to back this up. But if you look around at the industry, just pay attention to how everybody else is closing their emails, how everybody else is positioning their offer and call to action, and just do the complete opposite of what they do. So for example, if they use a font that is blue, go with red, or go with green. That is different. If they usually use the copy reads from right to left, center the copy, or make it read from left to right, if that makes sense. It's just different, stands out, because usually people are numbed to what they see online, and these little things that I'm telling you right now are what can improve the CTR of the emails and just get you more sales overall. So that all in all will 100% make you a killer copywriter in no time. So first, start off by improving the reading level. Make sure that your thing is concise. Make sure that it reads well, and use the Hemingway app thing that I told you about. Read it out loud, leave and come back. So write and edit after, and then you use data to actually get better at it. Hopefully this helps. I'll see you in the next one.